Hi everybody and welcome. Have a good day. I want to explain you 20 academic words that you should know for elevate your English abilities or capabilities. When it comes to by this way you can elevate your TOEFL, Ielts exam preparation. You get a high score one day. God willing. Now, before I blow your mind with these academic words, it's a great way to practice your English abilities or capabilities. So in this lesson, I am going to cover 20 academic words with you or with me, which is very necessary if you are in university, or if you are going to attend university, or maybe if you are going to take the Ielts or TOEFL exam preparation, or if you are just in some sort of jobs that require some more academic vocabulary. In this lesson will help when it comes to that requires some more academic vocabulary. This lesson will help you. It's often said that the words that I'm going to be talk about today came from the academic word list. It's a list of the most common academic vocabulary words used in English. So I'm going to give you the word. It's part of the speech. It's necessary meaning as well as an example. Sentences you are in, see how it's used in context, and if it's possible, maybe I'll throw a picture or two so we can spice thing up a little. Never mind. Keep in mind, more of these words have more than one meaning. I'll explain it regularity in this video or next videos. It's also in order to expand your vocabulary. I would highly recommend learning the words in the word family. It's really going to help build your vocabulary, the language English. So, for instance, we have the verb decide. Decide. What's the meaning of decide? It's a noun. Firstly, it's a, when we take it noun, decision, and then when we take it adjective is deceive. They all have similar meanings, but they are different words depending on the part of speech. But if you are able to learn all of the words in the word family, it's really help you with your vocabulary elevation and become more proficient in the language of English. Okay, let's begin. I just put these words in alphabetical categorical order. They are not really ordered by importance or anything. You should learn all of them. So let's begin. For instance, but before we do, I need to fill up a little space around here. So, okay. I think that's a little better. It gives us a little more room to go over these words. Let's begin that principal subject. Our first word is alternative. This just means to additional choice or possible remaining choice. For instance, you might hear people say there is no alternative. We haven't got any choose, or we haven't got any chance, or we have no additional choice. We have to do this, or we have to do that. You could also say the alternative was to take the bus. That's taking the bus was the additional choice. It wasn't the first choice, it is the alternative, taking the bus. And then number 2 is assessment. So this is just on elevation of something. Some of you may be familiar with it because you might hear it in school, where they want to do some sort of an evaluation and give you an assessment, and most of us probably don't like assessment, but we can read in a sentence and say they want to do an assessment of the business operations. They wanted to evaluate it. Maybe they go through their checklist and to do an assess and see how the operations are functioning. Then number 3 is benefit. We can say instead of benefit, efficiency. And benefits means something that is good or something that is advantageous. So this is a good day when you have a benefit, and we can use it as a sentence and say we talk or discussed about the benefits or working for an airline. And that benefit might be she gets to fly for free, as you want it. And then that's a benefit. It's a great situation. Who doesn't want to fly to free? Number 4 is complex. Yeah, now if something is complex, it just means it has many different connected parts that are unique. Yeah, and they are twisted and tied together and maybe very difficult understanding. So a few words that this is often used with is maybe a complex situation or complex problem. It's the same meaning. And or maybe there is a complex issue. Yeah, these are some words that complex often used to describe. Yeah, and then on the other side, we could then use it in a sentence and say, for instance, as the doctor performed a complex procedure in order to save the patient. If you are a doctor and doing any surgery processes, that isn't simple. It's probably pretty complex. Number 5 is word is concepts nearer to notion. And now a concept is an idea about something that you form in your mind. So say that you are thinking of something new and different, and you come up with a concept to try to explain that idea and show other people or illustrate other population or residents. Let's use it as a sentence and say traveling to Mars is an interesting all of us concept. We might not be exactly sure how we are going to do it, but we need to come up with different ideas about or different ways about how it can be done and think about what it can be like, which makes it an interesting concept. Yeah, number 6 is very important and this just means the end or close. This is important in academic writing or if you are going a presentation because you frequently hear about the words in conclusion, which tells people like okay, this is the end, this is the final result, what is the end of the close or the close in conclusion. They pick me out of the bar, maybe I was just thinking or I was just hanging out in here or too much drink, who knows, maybe I had, and I was just singing karaoke really badly and they wake me out finally. Number 7 is conduct, and this means to organize or lead an activity. Don't confuse it with the noun conduct, which means somebody's behavior. This is the verb condition. For instance, the stress is on the second syllable. Now there are many different things and that we can conduct, but some of the more common ones are you can conduct research. For instance, we can countable in this meanings we can use it by this sentence conduct. Or you conduct business, or maybe you can conduct a meeting. These are common ways that we can use the verb conduct. So, for instance, we could also say on the other side, he conducts experiments in his lab. He leads these science experiments. He does this. He conducts these science experiments and hopefully they are safe and nothing explodes. And we can say also the near words to conduct: manage, rule, control, govern, operate, run, and manipulate, direct, and so. Yeah. And number 8 is context. Now this is just a statement that can either be written or spoken and surrounds a specific word or phrase. I tell all the time, try understand the meaning of a word by putting it in context. Yeah, context. If you can understand what's being said at the beginning and what's being said at the end of the context. So for instance, maybe we have a passage that reads, the clouds covered all of the sky, and it was a perilous journey and no one returned. Well, if I don't know what the word perilous means, I can put it in context, the clouds. No one showered, well, these are bad things, so maybe perilous means something that's dangerous or even life threatening. We can put it in context. Number 10 is coordination. What's the meaning of coordination? This is just a combination of parts or people that are working together. We must have coordination if we are going to succeed. There was no a coordination between the two groups and nobody knew what was happening. If there is no coordination, then that's not good. On the other side, we can use, instead of coordination, connection, connect, and association. And then number 11 is environment. What's the environment? Yeah, environment is, it is the encirclement hours. And this is the condition of your surroundings and the surroundings, and the condition of your surroundings, geography, society, mood, etc. For instance, the meeting turned into a hostile environment. And then number 12 is estimate. What's the meaning of estimate? Estimate, to make an appropriate guess or judgment. We estimate an 80% chance of success. Yeah, we can say, instead of estimate, as synonyms, evaluate, appreciate, price, value, appraise, and valorize. And then number 13 is factor. What's the main factor? Something that contributes to a particular result. There are several factors that effort came in the neighborhood, and those factors might be poverty, could be police prevalence, or maybe even cleanliness. There are several factors. And then we can say, instead of factors, as synonyms, parameter and stimuli. Number 14 is function. This is the purpose for which something is designed. What is its function? What is its purpose? For instance, we could say the website's main function is to help people find cheap flights, and who knows, perhaps it has other functions, or while finding hotels, rental consists might have several functions. We can say, instead of function, as synonyms, work, commit, run, and be open. And then number 15 is identified, and this just means to recognize something for someone. Community used in the past tense, and it's followed by a direct object. We identified something. For instance, we identified 3 different factors that hurt the environment. And what did we identify? We identified something, the 3 different factors. And we can say, instead of identify, as synonyms, equate. Yeah, equate. And then number 16 is impact, and impact is the strong effect or influence that something has on a situation or on a person. And in a question that you might hear about something is, or what's the impact, how is it going to affect the situation, the person, what's the impact? Yeah, we can say, instead of impact, as synonyms, is affluence and influence and affect. And on the other side, I would like to point out at the beginning that we use impact in the real situation and use influence and affect in the non-real situations. Yeah, and then number 17 is indicate. Yeah, indicate, and to indicate is just to point at or show something to. For instance, we could say that the polls indicate that people are unhappy with the current government. What do they show us? They indicate that people are unhappy. And then we use, instead of indicate, as synonyms, show, display, demonstrate, bring out, hold up, testify, and give evidence. And then number 18 is investment, and investment is the use of money or capital or a lot of money to receive a profit or an appreciation in value. And there are sorts of investments that we can make. For example, buying a home is one of the best wise investment being on the still on the world. And well, maybe not this home, but yeah, this is the one. Is more like, is this probably a good investment? And then number 19 is major, and major is just an adjective used to describe that something is greater in size and extent or importance, and it's often associated with something that's like bad means. For instance, we could say the city was struck by a major earthquake, or the battle was a major turning point in the one, or even there was a major discrepancy between the two test results measure. And we can use instead of measure as synonyms mass, regiment, and plenty, large number, and majority. And then number 20 is method. Method is a technique, plan, or way of doing something special when there is a plan in place, so it's something that you tend to think out beforehand what's the method that we are going to use. For instance, we use the scientific method to acquire the knowledge: observation, experiment, and so on, evaluation, and confirmation. The scientific method, and we can use install method as synonyms: procedure, way, mode, and rule. And it's please share this video with your close-knit friends and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Journal English. See you later.